Hello, Greek class. Here we are with Chapter 12 of Basics of Biblical Greek. This is the 4th edition from Zondervan by Bill Mounce. And for homework prep here, we're just going to look at a couple of the initial questions from the parsing, the warm-up, and the translation, which is my normal routine here. Here we are in a somewhat decent picture of the exercise here for Chapter 12. And our first parsing exercise is auta, like that. And if we remember, we have, what's our lexical form? It's autos, right? Aute, and we have a third option here for this pronoun, which is also functions as an adjective, is auta. So this is our masculine. And that's our second declension, right? So it's a 2. Our feminine is a first declension, and our neuter is a second declension. So it's a 2, 1, 2. Well, there you have it. Look at that. This looks just like that, doesn't it? So we would put, for case, we would put nominative. However, we also know that if you remember our neuters, it would be, here's our neuter. We have auta, autu, right? Like this, auto. But then what's our accusative? Our accusative singular, again, is auta. Sorry for the scribbly writing there. These two are the same. Therefore, it's a 2x kind of answer. There's 2 possibilities for auto. Nominative or accusative. Now, of course, it's singular. Its gender is neuter. We already touched on that. And the lexical form, you could write out if you wanted. You could just say autos like that. And you could say aute, right? Auta like that if you wanted. Or you could write it out like I did above here. And the question is, what does it mean? Well, just put it. It just means it. That's fine, right? It's a pronoun. There you have it. If we wanted to do number 2 real quick, autai, if you see that, alpha iota, hopefully that will scream out to you from the definite article, high, like that, which is what? It's nominative, plural, and do you remember the gender of high? It's feminine. There you go. And it's going to be the same lexical form. And what it means is they, because it's plural, but it's a feminine they. Okay, so we did a couple from our parsing. Let's look at our warm-up here for Chapter 12. Number alpha here is autos epinaute. Autos epinaute. Well, hopefully what we recognize is we have a verb here. Epin is, like we learn elsewhere in Mounce, he, she, it, what? Said. He, she, or it said. So we know what this verb is of the sentence. So we need a subject. Well, do we have something that looks like it's in the nominative case? Autos, indeed. That's our nominative singular, he. So now we have a pronoun, he said. So now we can eliminate she or it. It's he said. And then we have to identify this last word here, aute. Well, it looks just like autos, doesn't it? Let me erase all this here. Doesn't it look just like that one, except the ending? So where do we see this kind of ending? An eta with a circumflex and a iota subscript. It's the dative singular. Feminine, of course, feminine dative singular. So if that's true, how would we translate aute all by itself? We would say to or for her. So if my verb is said, he said to her or he said for her, I would say in good English, we're going to eliminate the for and we'll just say he said to her. Now this is not, it's a fine to put a period, but notice that Mounce does not put a period here. This is just a warm-up, meaning we're not expected to see this as a complete sentence. It's just a phrase. Okay, there we have it. Now let's go one more time here to our translation. Number 1 here. Let me zoom out a little bit. It says, ferete. Say that a few times, ferete, and it's an imperative, bring. And it's plural, y'all bring. Ferete auton pros me. So auton, well, what did we just learn above? Autos. What is autos, aute, auto? It means he, she, or it. In the nominative, of course. But auton, that nun, tells us what case. It only could be one thing. It's accusative singular. So bring him. Bring. Auton is him. It's the accusative. Pros me. Well, if we remember, pros is a preposition that takes an accusative case. And here, me. Do you remember me is the accusative form, singular, of ego. Remember what ego is? Is I. So what's the accusative form of I? Me. That's the objective case. Bring him before me. Bring him before me. That's what that says. Bring him before me. Ferete auton pros me. Bring him before me. And we continue on here. Kai, that's our and. Remember, I. Enenkan. Remember, when we have a gamma and a kappa together, or two gammas, for example, the first gamma goes through what we call a nasalization. Enenkan. And they brought. Auton. They brought him. Pros. There's another pros plus accusative. Pros auton. They brought him before him. That's all it is. See, this is the same word. It's accusative, singular from autos. So ferete auton pros me. Bring him before me. Kai agenkan auton pros auton. Kai enenkan, I think I might have said enenkan auton. And they brought him before him. So we have a double, the two accusatives here. And that's okay, because one is governed by the verb, they brought him, and the second is part of the prepositional phrase. Pros plus an accusative means before him. They brought him before him. There you go. Take some time, enjoy learning Greek, enjoy translating scripture, and celebrate when you have these successes. It's fun and it's encouraging as you continue on your journey. Shalom.